In the 1820s and 1830s, Georgia conducted a relentless campaign to remove the Cherokees, who held territory within the borders of Georgia, North Carolina, Alabama, and Tennessee at the time.
In 1827, the Cherokee established a constitutional government. The Cherokee were not restructuring their government, but also declaring to the American public that they were a sovereign nation that could not be removed without their consent.
The Cherokees argued that the laws violated their sovereign rights as a nation and illegally intruded into the treaty relationship with the United States.
Chester, a native of Vermont, was a minister affiliated with the American Board of Commissioners for Foreign Missions. The board ordered Worcester to the Cherokee national capital of New Dakota in Georgia. Upon his arrival, Worcester began working to translate the Bible and other materials into the Cherokee language. Over time, Worcester became a close friend of the Cherokee leaders and often advised them about their political and legal rights under the Constitution and federal Cherokee treaties.
Another ABC-FM missionary was Eliza Butler.
The government recognized that Worcester was influential in the Cherokee resistance movement and enacted a law that prohibited white persons from residing with the Cherokee Nation without permission from the state.
Georgia gave the missionaries until March 1st, 1831 to obtain a license of residency or leave the Cherokee Nation.
Missionaries, including Worcester and Butler, decided to challenge the law and refuse to leave the state.
On March 12, 1831, Georgia authorities arrested Worcester, Butler, and several other missionaries and teachers for violating the new law.
A Georgia judge released Worcester when his lawyers argued that he served a federal postmaster at New Dakota and was therefore in the Cherokee Nation under authority of the federal government.
Worcester, Butler, and several other of their colleagues remained.
And on July 7th, the Georgia Guard again arrested Worcester and Butler and 9 other missionaries.
After posting bond, Worcester returned to New Dakota to take care of his wife and daughter.
Oh, a serious deal!
Understanding that the Georgia governor would continue to harass him, he left them and relocated them to the Brainerd mission.
When he returned to New Dakota to console his wife, the Georgia Guard arrested him for the 3rd time.
This explained why he returned.
Son was temporarily released.
The missionaries, represented by lawyers hired by the Cherokee Nation, appealed to the U.S. Supreme Court.
When he was in Georgia, the court struck down Georgia's extension laws. The majority opinion also wrote that the Indian nations were
distinct, independent political communities retaining the original national rights, and that the United States had acknowledged as much in several treaties with the Cherokees, although it had surrendered sovereign powers in those treaties with the United States. The Cherokee Nation remained a separate sovereign nation with legitimate title to its natural territory.
Marshall harshly rebuked Georgia for its actions and declared that the Cherokee possessed the right to live free from the state's trespasses.
The Cherokee leadership hoped the decision would persuade the federal government to intervene against Georgia and end the talk of removal.
Georgia ignored the Supreme Court's ruling,
refused to release the missionaries,
and continued to press the federal government to remove the Cherokees. President Jackson now forced the decision against the state and instead calling the Cherokees to relocate or fall under Georgia's jurisdiction. Although Jackson is widely quoted as saying, John Marshall has made his decision, now let him enforce it, his actual words to Brigadier General John Coffey were, the decision of the Supreme Court has felt stillborn, and defiant that it cannot force Georgia to yield to its mandate.
In 1835, a dissident faction of Cherokee signed a removal treaty at the Cherokee capital of the New Dakota.
Army entered the Cherokee Nation forcibly, gathered almost all of the Cherokees, and marched them to the Indian Territory in present-day Oklahoma, in what became known as the Trail of Tears.
Criticism of Georgia's imprisonment of missionaries prompted the state's new governor, Wilson Lumpkin, to encourage them to accept a pardon.
Lumpkin persuaded the Georgia legislature to repeal the law the state had used to convict Worcester and the other missionaries.
After intense pressure from the governor, the American board, and their lawyers, the missionaries gave up on their Cherokee campaign and accepted a pardon.
And were released from prison in January 1833.
From that point forward, the Worcester decisions became the Indian nation's most powerful weapon against state and local encroachments on the tribal powers.
Okay.
You need that flash? It makes it blurry. Or it makes it darker.
Yeah, it's fine. Steven! Alright. 3, 2, 1. Steven! Come on!
Let's do this.
Alright, go.
Hands behind your head with your legs up. Okay. Nathan, you're gonna film from this angle. Nathan.
This looks like the Project X picture.
He's just gonna do this.
Dude, this looks like the Project X.
Nathan,
hey,
you don't
have time. Let's
One
go.
thing you need.
Oh, fine. 2, 3, 2. I don't know if this does anything, but I've seen people do this before. 3, 2, 1. Steven, it actually looks good. Stop. Okay, 3, 2, 3, 2.
Oh god. Okay.
3. Oh my gosh, it's not getting in focus anymore. We had the perfect shot.
That was so funny. Steven's just dancing around.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. It literally goes like in focus, out of focus, in focus. It's not in focus. Now it's in.
Okay.
Now it's in focus. Now it's off of focus. Now it's in focus. Now it's off of focus. Now it's in focus. What is this? Okay, now it's in focus. Now it's in focus.
All right for Judge Zormis.
That scene's not even in it, huh?
Yeah, we're gonna keep it in there.
Yeah, put that in there.
Hey, don't get on the carpet. Don't get on the carpet.
Wow, bro, come on.
Okay.
He was going directly. In all fairness, I was the one that came up with that idea. Someone whispered in my ear. Alright, whoever making that cleans it. Bust and clean it. Hey, come on, my shirt's all wet.
Yeah.
Wow, you got my jacket wet too? Oh, yeah, waterproof. Look at my shirt. Did you get it on?
Hey, let me see your shirt. Let me see your shirt.
Can we watch that part?
Yeah, hold up.